Hi, I'm outside here. I'm out in the backyard walking our dog Prince. Maybe I'll get him in a little bit. Just wanted to do a quick video here. Kind of a quick update on things, I guess. It's been a while since I did a video. Last week my wife had a minor surgery on her foot. So she's home now. She's got 8 weeks of rehab to do. And so I guess I'm taking care of her, and and I don't talk much about Mindy. That's my wife, and got to keep my eye on the dog here. He's out there having fun in the snow. I'll get him in a minute, but yeah, I don't talk much about Mindy, but we've been together over 30 years now, 33 years, okay, and I don't know why I don't talk much about her. This blog has a lot to do with communication and context. Context is a big thing about this blog. And, marriage is a good example of those things and so much more. Especially context, because if you take this single parts of our marriage and stuff like that, wouldn't be much, but you put the whole thing together from beginning to end and you have a complete picture, and then you know why I can honestly say it's better now than it was over 30 years ago when we first met. I can honestly say that, but you'd have to take the context of the whole thing and see how we grew through those years. When we first got married, we had no clue what we would do. We didn't know what we were getting into. We simply didn't. Okay, and then, well, who does really? We were just young kids back then, and we've been through a lot. We raised a family, 3 kids. They're all grown now. Back then, my wife homeschooled the 3 kids. That was something that was on her heart. She was homeschooling when homeschooling wasn't very popular. Homeschooling's a good thing. I mean, it has its pros and cons and stuff, and it's changed a lot through the years now. But kids are already out of school now, but it's still a good thing. And that's how my wife and I raised a family. We did a lot of good things. We did all the things we were supposed to do. We were both raised in Christian homes, and we both had strong Christian parents, and especially strong Christian dads. That's really important. And the strength of that would carry us through to the time when we finally got around to reading God's Word in its entirety, okay? But the thing is that we already raised a family. Prior to doing that, we've raised a family and made all of our mistakes, But anyway, we did what we thought we were supposed to do. Took them to church and all the stuff that we thought, the way we were raised. And but it wouldn't be till later, till we, just recently started reading God's entire Word and from cover to cover, and began to wonder why churches and Christians don't talk much about this. I mean, the Bible's so much about Israel and its culture and its nation, and you begin to wonder why. What's so much in there about Israel? So much in there, what's going on here? The Bible was always made about us. It was always made about my problems and your problems, and I got to keep my eye on this dog here. He's just all over the place having a ball in the snow. But anyway, yeah, we finally did get around to reading it, and I guess things have changed for us, and so now she's come down with a disability in the last few years. It's really, we're going through the disability. In marriage, it's everything together. God takes, God sort of said something like, if you're having a problem with what, understanding what my word says, let me give you this thing called marriage. And marriage is an ingenious concept of taking 2 opposites, in some ways, man and woman, putting them together and encouraging them to be one. That encouraging them to be, become one, that takes a long time, a lifetime, and we still haven't gotten it down right. But we go through everything together, If my wife is disabled, then I'm disabled. We go through it together. People, they always commend me about how well I'm taking care of her and all that. And I always know I could be doing a much better job. I know that. But I always kid with them and I say things like, well, I didn't know I had a choice. You don't really have a choice. You go through things together. It's just the way it is. God gave us this marriage to try to, a lot of comparisons between how we should relate to Him in a personal relationship. Okay? And the one thing that characterizes our marriage of the many things, the main thing is endurance. Okay? My wife has had to endure a lot with me as I go through changes. And the changes I mean is in questioning all those things that we grew up with, those traditions of men. Getting all the things that the church culture handed us, and stuff, and a lot of changes. And so my wife, to characterize her, she's very patient and long-suffering, and it's good. That's what you want in a marriage. For people who are thinking of getting married today, just find a spouse that you can read with and pray with. We didn't always do that. Reading and praying together started out, recently as in the last several years, but it was awkward at first. It's I don't know why that is. I mean, we read and pray with other people, but with your own spouse, it seems to be more awkward. So we had to, you got to work your way through that. You got to get through that awkward stage. Maybe it's not like that for everybody, but it was for us, And so here we are enduring life's, I suppose, hardships. There's a lot of people out there that have a lot worse than we do. But in this culture that is so hard on marriages, we all know the statistics of that. Anyway, for young people getting married today in this culture, boy, that everything has been redefined. Terms have redefined. They think it hasn't, but it has been. I mean, in this culture, it's very hostile on young people today, even thinking about getting married. Between the media, the 24-hour news cable networks, Hollywood with their movies and everything has changed, turned upside down on its head. Everything is backwards, okay, in this culture compared to what God intended, okay. But I know for one thing, marriage is the best example, for teaching us, even with our relationship to God. But even that, you need to be careful even in that, because that can be even carried. That analogy can be carried too far, as I found out. But marriage is a good example. So I guess the thing I want to communicate in this vlog is what happens in a marriage or to people as they go through God's Word together. And you can't do that all in one blog or one post. It takes a long time. It takes effort, and you got to get through a lot of hard times, a lot of hard feelings, a lot of bad feelings, and you got to get through that stuff. And like I said, this blog's all about context. Things aren't going to be solved in just one short time. Like I said, our marriage is 33 years. The whole thing together makes so much sense, and we're closer to each other, and we're getting closer to God, and we have a long ways to go, and a lot more things to go through. And that's what it's all about. That's what the Christian life is about. We raised our kids in the church and all this stuff, and we had the whole thing from raise your hand, accept Jesus in your heart, make that decision, and it's just, that was it. But we weren't told that, we were, but we don't think that it's a lifelong journey, and it's tough in this culture. Everybody, it's in this gotta have it instant now culture, and all these words that have been redefined. Oh, I got it. So I guess that's going to be it for now. Prince wants to go in. He's out. He's ready to go in. I'm going to bring him over here in a second. I know it seems like I don't say. Sometimes I just don't say a lot on this vlog, but I do want to, give a shout out to my wife. A wonderful lady, a wonderful woman, and like I said, once her rehab is done and over with and she gets her strength back, and we'll be going out places again and just enjoying life again. Okay? Waiting for the next life's issues to deal with. There's always something. It never ends. Come here, Prince. Come here. Come here. Come here. Okay. There we go. Hey. There's Prince. I've had him on before. So, all right. We're just going to get on inside. I think he's having fun, but he's getting cold. He loves to sniff. That's Prince right there. This is my wife's dog. She loves this dog. Yeah. Don't you? You love Mama, don't you? All right, so that's it. Till the next time, blessings.